Oh my god.
Wait, what's going on? What's going on your end?
You play Fortnite. That's literally what it sounds like right now.
Okay, well at least we're having audio for both you
Hi.
and me, so I don't care. I don't care. We're leaving it as is anyway. So yeah, Minecraft trailer.
There he goes again.
Okay, it's fine. It's
Well,
fine on
you
stream.
just heard you
It's
say
fine on
Fortnite
stream.
like 50
It's
times.
fine on stream.
You-
It's Discord cutting out.
No,
Okay.
do you know what you
Discord.
said? You literally said.
Discord can hear me fine. Okay. I mean, no. The stream can hear me fine. Discord, it can be whatever. I don't care. I'm not touching anything. Minecraft trailer. Thoughts.
Minecraft. We've already said our piece on this. You were leading us somewhere, and then you kind of died a bit.
Yeah. So I was saying that there's a theory that Jason Momoa is like a wrestler from the 80s.
But why would it be set in the 80s?
I have no idea.
Everything
Just because-
in the 80s.
Just because they want to be like weird, I guess. It makes sense. As also the jacket, the one the ladies is wearing, is also like a very 80s thing. Like this one right here, that is very much an 80s kind of deal shit's going on, especially with like the lime green purse and the orange trousers.
We have to wait for stream delay.
Or you can just like watch the trailer on your own.
People wouldn't know what you're pointing at. Oh my god, Cam, I finally got it. I finally got the Doom Island in Fortnite.
You're playing Fortnite to me. Okay, that is why Fortnite was showing up Video Ninja. You were streaming your second stream on Video Ninja. I blame that for lag. That we had
I
a
stopped
third.
streaming a while ago. I was just there's this really like girly emo where you just like strut and stuff, and I was picking my most manly
Torturing me with
character.
it.
Yeah, torturing Cam with it. I'll stream it again.
Please don't. Anyway, when's this movie dropping again? Like April 4th. Yeah. Are we gonna see it though?
It should have dropped on April 1st, just because it's that much of a joke.
It's not that bad. People are saying it looks bad. I don't get the hate. I mean, look at the pigment. Not pigment, piglings, and the gas, man. The gas rafts. We need that in the base game. That's one of the things I was
Have you
kind of
seen
wondering
what he
about.
crafted?
Yeah, that was cool.
Have you seen what he crafted in it?
Yeah, like a double bucket on a chain.
Yeah, by placing everything incorrectly. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing actually in the grid.
Okay, I need to pay coastal attention to the background here. See if there's anything. Oh, there's like some. Do you see those like boots with feathers on them? That's not vanilla. That's new.
About the boring.
Are those like feather fall? Yeah. I see lanterns. I see fireworks. I see some books. I see some potions. What's that in like the top right? That's a kind of silvery.
I can't see the top right. My face is there.
Oh, again, go watch the trailer. It's like next to like Jack
No
Black's
one
head.
else can see the top right on the stream either.
Oh my. No, you can see it in trailer. It's like directly below you. Like
Oh, okay.
just left of Jack's Black. You know, there's like two silvery things below the TNT.
Yeah.
What is that? I honestly can't tell. And it's like a jack-o'-lantern, lanterns, like normal lanterns. That's one thing I was wondering about. Exactly what are going to be like the liberties when it comes to having stuff that's not in the game, like the proper vanilla game. And that's also, you know, with the platforms, with the drums, obviously that's not in the main game. Maybe these are teasers for the next update, who knows. And there's also other thing I noticed, this flag on this building right here. They really need to add just like horizontal flags. We have banners, which are basically vertical flags. Now we need horizontal flags like this. So people can just like stop using the wall to make fake flags. There was also one more thing I saw in the Never scene. What's this thing in the middle? Like the purpley thing. I think it looks like one of the reject mobs from the mob vote. There was one of them that kind of looked like this. You know what I'm talking about?
Sort of.
There was, I think it was up from the latest mob vote. Like there was like this little like hunched over dude in a green cloak. That's what it looks
Oh,
like.
okay. Yeah. I remember that dude. Maybe. But I wouldn't expect him to be in the Nether. He's a very bushy kind of guy.
Maybe there's like a reason for him to be in Nether. I don't know.
So they can use him as a bomb.
Then there's of course like a weird blue cube that Jason Momoa is holding and the kid was holding at the start. Which that's probably just the MacGuffin of the thing. That's probably the thing that brought him to the Minecraft world in the first place. It's very much going to be the kind of like fish out of water story. Just these four guys that came over from the real world ended up in the game, and then there's just Jack Black guiding them through the world of Minecraft, because of course it's not a gaming related movie if Jack Black is in it. So are we going to see it? I feel like we have to. It's a Minecraft movie. We have to see it when it launches.
It'd be fun to just watch it, but I think
For the meme.
it would also be so cringy.
I feel like that's what they're going for. It can be made well. The trailer got me a bit worried in some of the kind of forced quips. I don't have an issue with art style. I think the way they are representing the game itself and the way the mobs look is fine. The creeper I am kind of torn on. I expected it to be a bit more leafy, because it looks more... I know it's supposed to be like moss, and it looks more like fur, like green fur than moss, at least in this one shot. He is kind of out of focus and everything, and kind of far away. Maybe when he's closer up, and it obviously is going to be like a close-up showing, oh, what a creeper looks like in real life or whatever. Then we've got to see exactly what the texture looks like.
Real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did do a promotional image where I'm pretty sure they showed the creeper very close up. Might need to check Twitter for that.
So yeah, my expectations. When it comes to visuals, fantastic. When it comes to like the dialogue, I am kind of a bit worried by just the tone the trailer sets out, but I'm still gonna watch it because come on, it's a Minecraft movie and it just looks so goofy. It's gonna be fun. And also, I still haven't watched the Mario movie, so obviously it's gonna be a lot of comparisons between the two and how they kind of adapt the source material. I'm definitely gonna have to probably watch that one. And who knows, maybe like a bunch of this stuff is gonna appear in the main game later. Because Minecraft Live is coming up soon, so who knows?
Ready for that disappointment.
Minecraft Live.
Yeah, it's what they did to replace Minecraft.
Yeah. To this day, why they do it, apart from like, I don't know, budget cuts at Microsoft, I don't know. You'd think that of all companies, it would be Microsoft who could throw that kind of big party for the audience, for the fans, but no. What topic do you want to do next?
How bad your Wi-Fi is?
It's not my Wi-Fi, okay? It's OBS.
It very much is.
What probably doesn't help is that I'm currently in a basement. However, again, I did an internet...
why is my satellite Wi-Fi not working? I'm only underground.
No, I did a Wi-Fi check and my speeds were fine. Another issue is that Starlink by default does not come with Ethernet.
Of course not. How are you going to run a wire down from the satellite?
No, you have an actual router in your house, right? You have a satellite dish installed on your roof. You run a wire from the satellite dish to the router, and then you have Wi-Fi from the router. That's how it works. You don't stream Wi-Fi directly from the satellite.
Oh, it'd be so much funnier if it was. But, whatchamacallit? What was I just going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
Oh, yeah, but still, if it's still just... that's not much of an improvement. It's an improvement, but it's not like full fibre.
It's not, but again, the issue is there's literally nothing else available to this. We live so far in the middle of nowhere that nothing else was available. You know how bad my internet was here before, right? It was like 5 megabits down, 1 megabit up or something like that, like on a good day.
Yeah.
So the issue was that no one would even offer us anything better. So we tried some other options. First, we wanted to get radio, internet, like internet over radio, because that's like a very popular option in more rural areas in Poland. However, that just wasn't an option. That no one even offered it to our area, even though a friend of mine who lives just a couple of kilometers down, it was available for them. So then we tried internet via satellite, and then we looked at that and gathered that pretty much the only sensible option was Starlink, which means we have to give Elon Musk our hard-earned money, which I'm not happy about, but oh well.
Yeah, everyone who's had Starlink, well, I only know Starlink, I don't exactly know them. They're a YouTuber. They just constantly complain about it.
Apparently, once I have it set up and running, it's absolutely fine. But there's definitely some kinks in it as well that need to be ironed out and stuff. Still, apparently the reliability is pretty good. The guys who installed it for us also installed it on an oil rig, and apparently the downtime is non-existent. The only downtime is whenever the satellite passes through one of the legs of the oil rig. So it's like for a couple of seconds, every couple of days, it cuts out. But apart from that, it works. So it kind of shows you exactly. It is reliable, despite there being no cables. But it's still not the greatest option. Fiber is obviously king, but we can't get fiber here.
You're talking about reliability whilst I'm watching your stream freeze every 5 seconds and your voice freeze every other 3.
Is it just on Discord? But is the stream fine?
It freezes every now and then. By every now and then, every 5 seconds.
I have some dropped frames, but it's like 9% dropped frames. I'd say that's good enough. Again, a large part of it is just also my laptop. My laptop
I love Starlink. Starlink is great.
I'm not saying Starlink is great. Fiber is definitely better. Again, we just have no other options where we are.
We need to smile and say it's great, otherwise he will drop the satellite on it.
Yeah. He just
the recent controversy with Elon Musk, yeah.
Do we want to do the whole thing? I covered it a bit last time. However, there have been some developments. I feel like I haven't done the topic justice last time anyway.
Well, Brazil.
Which is it getting banned in Brazil. Apparently, you are supposed to get also fined just a ridiculous amount for even using a VPN to connect to it. Like it says right here, a fine of up to $8,910 if you are caught using a VPN to access Twitter. Do you think there's actually Twitter addicts big enough to risk that kind of fine? Like they just have to get a Twitter fix. They're actually going to potentially pay $9,000 in fines.
The one thing I can't wrap my head around is Elon Musk's thought process, because we already know he's got major issues with advertisers right now, and he's like, why aren't we getting advertisers? And then beneath every post he makes is Nazi lover 333 and multiple people like that. But generally, didn't they send a notice to Twitter being like, hey, can you ban these 11 people please? And he went, nah, which led to banning a very large country off the platform.
The way it basically worked is Brazil asked him to ban 7 accounts, which he refused to do because his free speech absolutism, well, mostly, with a huge asterisk there. And then he refused to. So then Brazil wanted to have a Brazil legal rep for Twitter on Brazilian soil that they can communicate with, which he refused. So then the whole thing just got banned. The best thing is, he refused to ban those 7 users because he wanted to, keep them on Twitter and everything, and keep them away from, and he didn't want them to be persecuted by the Brazilian government or anyone else But then in the document, he published all of the documents, all of the communication with the Brazilian government, including the real names of those 7 users. He doxed the people whose accounts he was supposed to be banning on platform.
Well, you know what? If Elon Musk doesn't take care of it, someone else will take care of it with that information.
I'm waiting for him to actually do. You remember that Twitter poll he put out saying, "Should I resign?"
I mean, he did resign. He's no longer Twitter CEO, but instead he's like they have like a puppet CEO.
Yeah, he. It's amazing how many people worship him, considering how stupid some decisions he's making.
It's like, what would you rather lose? 7 Twitter users or the whole country of Brazil, which may remind you has a population of like 200 million.
Starlink internet is really good, guys.
But again, there's
Just cut out for 10 seconds.
Oh my word. Again, I'm fine on the stream. I have my audio levels right here. I should be fine on stream. If Discord's getting out, it's not the biggest loss because who cares if you can't hear me? Okay, well here's the thing.
Conversation.
Okay, well here's the thing, and we're getting spookily political territory here. Is it worth it for the principles of freedom of speech and everything to keep those 7 individuals not banned for the sake of losing it, but instead you lose an entire country?
Why do you want them banned in the first place?
What were the users even saying?
Apparently, I haven't looked too much into it, but apparently it is just that they were very kind of critical of the Brazilian government and spreading quote-unquote misinformation about the Brazilian government.
Okay, so trust Elon Musk to saying that he wants accounts spreading fake news to stay. I think that's just reflective of his platform, quite frankly. Net neutrality is nothing in America. Just saying.
I'm trying to say, but it says here, if there's exact reasons given by the Brazilian court or what exactly those accounts were saying. Because the official line was that they were spreading misinformation and hate speech or whatever about the Brazilian government to the Brazilian people, and that's why they wanted them banned. I guess it also depends on how bad the things they were saying were, but that's a whole political conversation I really don't want to get into. Yeah, it's a very tricky topic, but we'll see. And then when the best part is, when Twitter did get banned, that is when Elon panicked and went to the negotiating table and actually started to negotiate with the Brazilian government and the Brazilian courts to not have the platform banned.
All bark, no bite.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and also with the with him suing advertisers who have the audacity of not paying for Twitter ads. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad.
He just throws temper tantrums.
Yeah, it's actually amazing. What do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? Oh, I know what we can do next. Let's talk. Speaking of getting dangerously political, actually, I don't think it's political. I think it can get political, but there's very non-political reasons why this game failed. But let's talk about Concord. Sony's $150 million mistake. They spent 8 years developing this game. They had a budget of, I think, of 150 million. It sold under 25,000 copies. Blah, blah.
Yeah, just was it? Yep, on the PS5. The PS5 has no games.
It wasn't just on PS5, it was on Steam as well. And as The Verge pointed out here, on Steam, its all-time peak player count was 697. Even that awful Gollum game, which was voted the worst game of 2023 had more concurrent players than this multiplayer shooter. How do you mess up so badly? How?
That's all
First
games
of all-
companies seem to be doing these days.
Honestly, the saddest part is, okay, the whole game looked very bad, and I think the biggest thing was just about the character design. What I'm kind of sad about is the logo. It has a good logo. It has this kind of like 70s, 80s vibe. A lot of the game felt kind of like retro futuristic. The logo looks like some weird tech telecommunications company from the 70s or 80s. I like it.
Why is there an N in there?
I honestly have no idea. I
What
honestly,
does the N stand for, Sony?
it stands for Concord. I don't know. But yeah, I think definitely the biggest reason was just the character design. I've never seen a game with just like worse character design. Cam, you had a look at these before the show, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at them right now.
As an artist, as a designer of sorts, what do you think about how they look?
Why have they put, like, they've just slapped really brightly colored jackets on half of them and called it a day? Why have you got what's this, blue and green skinned character with bright pink hair? I don't think they thought about color theory at all on this, because there's no unity in there at all. They've put way too many colors on one single character. It's just, and looking at all of them as well, you know, like Red Dead Redemption type realism. It just, why did they make it so realistic for this type of game? They look slimy. I don't know how else to describe it.
They do look slimy. They also just look over-designed. I think a lot of it is just when you spend 8 years on a game and 150 million, I think a lot of it is just people pretending to be busy. Like, oh, I'll add a bit to this character here. I'll make him even more detailed. Just do something to appear useful to the team so you don't get fired. And that's just like a fate so many games share. A lot of it is just over-designed because people need to look busy. Because that's just like what AAA development is.
I'm just looking at this one image of it right now, and it actually puts it a bit more into words. It literally looks like, you know, like the Disney Channel where they go wee 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 like that, right? It looks like someone's CGI'd. Like there's the green screen background, there's the character, and then the character gets put into the game, and they just look so disjointed from their surroundings.
I wanted to say exactly how much they lost, but then I realized because they are doing full refunds, they technically haven't made like any money. Because I was about to do the maths. Okay, so they sold 25,000 copies for $40 and like the 30% Steam cut. But I just realized none of it matters because they're offering full refunds to everyone, which props to them and everything. But come on. Are any of these guys going to be trusted with any game again? I don't think any of them are even going to put that they worked on Concord on the CV.
Oh, hold on. Lower than Lord of the Rings Gollum, and Lord of the Rings Gollum looked terrible.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, literally no one played it. The servers were dead from the start.
I would walk around game and I'd see that, and I'd literally look away in disgust. Because of how awful it looked.
Oh, I just realised it's actually available on the Epic Game Store as well. Who on earth would buy this game on Epic Games of all places?
Let's see when it's due to come out free.
Oh no, like they took it fully off.
Oh, they took it fully.
Yeah, like it got service shut down. It's probably not coming back. It could be coming back. They said they're taking the service offline to reevaluate the poor launch of the game. But is it even salvageable? Or is, like, especially with things like, you know, Overwatch existing, like all of the other kind of hero-based FPS games.
Overwatch 2 is sort of held in contempt still. Because they promised everything for Overwatch 2. Everyone was like, oh my god, this is going to be so great! And then Overwatch 2 came out and they cancelled half the for them.
Is it held in enough content? Do people hate it enough to switch to this inferior version, though?
Well, no
Or
one
they could
would
play
switch to
Paladin.
a game that was actively so bad they basically took it entirely offline, and then the next day went, guys, please play our game. No one's going to do that.
Also, Cam, no one's gonna switch to Paladins because of this. Sorry to break the news to you.
Paladin is so fun though.
Paladins is Chinese spyware. You can't tell me different.
I'd rather have, Activision Blizzard, which is now Microsoft spyware and stuff like that. Overwatch, for all of its flaws, has cemented itself as the kind of ultimate game in that kind of cartoony, stylized hero shooter, and I don't think anything will replace it. Concord was not even a valiant effort. Paladins is a more valiant effort. Okay, I was forced to play Paladins with Cam earlier, and it's actually fun, decent, and has good-looking characters. Concord just had none of that. Yeah.
To be fair with Overwatch, isn't that the game that basically resulted in the overabundance of 3D pornographic material?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because they published their engine or something. I can't remember what it was, but something to do with it.
That's the thing that would make Concord actually do well. Have characters that people will just enjoy looking at in various ways.
If they want a game to be popular with gamers, they just need to add jiggle physics.
Basically, yeah. Again, why is Overwatch so popular? Because it has characters like Tracer, Widowmaker, obviously.
I need to search that up. I don't know who those people are.
Don't search any of that up. Also, oh my word.
Should I not? oh no, I recognize the character.
Yeah, as I say, don't look it up.
Well, I typed it into the search engine and it shows me an image, so I recognize them now just because my friends used to play it.
Yeah. Also, people are saying that the thing that it's like $40 is a bad thing. True, a lot of these kind of stylized hero shooters are free, kind of like Overwatch or Valorant. However, the issue is, if there is no, obviously long term for a live service game like this, free to play with microtransactions is better to have that kind of stable revenue compared to just paying $40 at launch. But given how much with games like Rainbow Six Siege, I think that's a good example of how much we spend on Rainbow Six Siege. Would you prefer to have a game that's like $40 now, and then you don't have to deal with as many microtransactions? Or would you just prefer to have a free-to-play game and then with just constant microtransactions? Especially seeing how a lot of them are cosmetic. That's fine, but it can be just so tiring just seeing all of that in your favorite games. And I think buying a game instead of just playing free-to-play games is also just sending a good signal to the industry in general that, hey, just give us games to pay for and that's it.
I think there's a tricky line between the two, because with games like Fortnite, which is entirely free to play, but you can unlock things that have no competitive advantage, but you look cool, and everyone's scrambling to play it. And with a lot of crossovers that make it so people definitely buy it, that's a very good structure. But equally with other games, I'm trying to think of other games that I played. Okay, right, let's think about Lethal and Among Us, which arguably some were short-lived, I think, but they bounce back, we'll still play them. But that was a small cost. An example of something that you really should not do is Skull and Bones, being really expensive, having stuff you can pay for in-game. Granted, they don't give you competitive advantage, although arguably some might, because they sold different ships in their shop, at least I think they did. That's a bad example. But if it's a game like Siege, which is a middle cost, not hugely expensive, that has a lot of sales to say, come buy this and has free-to-play weekends to say, come and play this here, see if you like it. That's quite good as well. But there's a balance between how much you should pay for the game and how much is then available content-wise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's
Like I would like Assassin's Creed is a good example. You buy Assassin's Creed, you've got Assassin's Creed, you play Assassin's Creed.
but Assassin's Creed is a single player game. It's not
Exactly.
it's not a live service thing. Can you even have in the modern economy, like in the modern games industry, a multiplayer game that's not just you pay up front and then you also have microtransactions, or it's free to play and then you have microtransactions?
Microtransactions are basically the norm now, aren't
Yeah,
they?
like obviously, if you go free to play, you obviously need to have microtransactions. You have to make money somehow. But can you have a multiplayer game that is pay once and then nothing, like no additional costs?
I feel like well, let's take this as an example. I'm going to use this as an example in other games I play. If you were to say do that in Siege, and say you paid for it, you get that. The game developer company is then reliant on constant people buying the game, and it basically becomes you're not earning money unless people are constantly buying it. And the second that the people buying it drops below service cost, they're going to pull the rug. They'll be like, "Oh, hey guys, sorry, we're shutting down." Or they could pull an Overwatch and be like, "But we're doing a second one. It's really good. We're doing this." But then they've pulled the rug on half of that as well. I definitely think microtransactions are necessary, and I like how companies are doing them. Not how EA does them, but most of the companies in the sense of it's purely cosmetic. But as long as it's cool, people will buy them. We've all done it. Um, I feel like if it's a big company with a lot of advertising, like I'd never heard at all. Um, if there's enough advertising behind it and there's actually good stuff in there, it's worth the cost. People pay based on what they think it's going to be. If it's like Lethal Company, it's a gag. It was basically a gag game you can play with friends. If it's Among Us, it's basically a gag game you can play with friends. People they rely on a lot of people go, oh, we're going to buy this. A load of money gets invested, and especially if it's indie devs. They go, hey, we've got this lot of money. Let's start adding on. It almost becomes a Kickstarter, doesn't it? But if it's like Skull and Bones, the quadruple A game, which is now the Epic Store because Ubisoft can barely sell it anymore. You're paying so much up front and there's barely anything behind it. And then they go, hey, you want to buy some stuff? Your ship will look really nice. And it's just like, it's not going to work. I'm just thing I'm sick of is obviously with the live service games like Siege. Siege hopefully has a long time ahead of it, but it will always come. The second those servers come online, you're stuck with a dead game. And I know it's not really something to play single player, and the only single player thing they had, they got rid of because I don't know. It's a bit of an issue. But if it's like another game, I always thought about this like Sea of Thieves. I know if you could not run Sea of Thieves on your PC, it might be awful running a single player on that, and you're not actually a server. I don't know if you could or not, but I always imagined it would be absolutely terrible. When Sea of Thieves eventually dies, like it will, games do, you're then stuck with something where it's like, oh, I could play single player though, but you can't, which is why I get increasingly anxious every year a game is out. Am I going to be able to play this anymore? Exactly. Even if it's for a small cost, that way they can still earn money off of.
Um, this is a
Yeah.
really niche thing,
Well,
but it's exactly what you guys are talking about. There's a game called Black Survival that I used to play religiously when I was younger, and it's like a weird type of game. I don't know what genre it is, but it's more like strategy type. And at some point, I think it's like December of last year or the year before that, and they shut all the servers down, and everyone was so upset about it, including me when I found out because I wanted to reinstall the game and play it again. And then ever since there's just been talks of people like trying to go and recreate the servers by themselves, and like I've been trying to follow the news on it, and it's not happened yet, just because of that same thing. Is like because they didn't tell us, they didn't release the game like information and stuff, they just shut down the servers.
I actually have the info on the petition here. It's getting kind of close in a couple of places. So basically you need to reach 1,000,000 signatures. Oh, why is it so? Okay, hopefully it's not like blown out like it is on my preview. Do I have like Force SDR on? Okay, it should be fine. Hopefully on the stream. I think it looks kind of overblown because I have HR on. Basically, it has passed enough signatures in Sweden, Finland, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Poland and Germany. Yeah, it's all countries. Yeah, and all of the other countries haven't. So, do you have to reach? I actually don't know how these EU petitions work. Do you have to reach it all in all the countries, or do you have to get to 1,000,000? I don't know, but yeah, if you are an EU citizen, again, sign it. Great initiative, and hopefully, basically, if we've seen anything the past few years, whatever the EU does, pretty much everyone follows. Next topic. What do we want to do next? Oh, I know. So this is something I got to see revealed firsthand, and I'm definitely interested in your thoughts about it. Have you seen the Acer Dual Play concept?
Oh, I saw you tweet something about it.
So it's basically a laptop with a built-in controller. The way the lady presented it is that it's basically, there's this debate in the gaming space, keyboard and mouse versus controller. But what if you didn't have to choose? And honestly, when she said that, my thoughts were somewhat completely different than basically a control. She made it sound like some weird mouse and keyboard / controller hybrid. Like it's just like you have everything at once, but no, it's still just either or. But it's just that you have a controller always with you in a laptop, and basically just pops out like that.
Really uncomfortable. I'm assuming the controller goes in face down.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it goes face down, and then the underside of it is your trackpad.
Okay.
That's how it works. And then you can just play like this, or then you can split it apart like a Joy-Con, and you have two of them.
All I'm saying is, I once tried to play with a controller. Laptop, we had an Xbox One controller. I tried for 2 hours going through different software to try and connect it, and it would not connect. I just want a good controller that I rarely use. They turn them into Joy-Cons. What?
Yeah. It's actually pretty sick. I'm very curious about how it's going to work on the software side. Because
with difficulty, I can imagine.
Yeah, like how Bluetooth pairing is going to work on it. Because what is it going to treat them as? I'm assuming it's going to treat them as two separate Bluetooth devices. I'm just kind of interested in how like responsive Windows will be to all of that. It looks pretty cool, but at the same time, how many games can you even imagine playing using something like this for on a laptop of all things?
To be fair, if it's a laptop, if you don't have a mouse, the controller's the better option.
Yeah, it is. Is using like a joystick controller as smooth as a mouse though?
No, but I suppose if you buy this, but the first question is why you could do it on a laptop? Because if you're like gonna game that much, this laptop needs to be superhuman.
I mean, to be fair, I game on a laptop.
It is a gaming laptop. Like it is going to be pretty powerful. It's just a prototype, but I'm just looking at it. Obviously, it's gonna have like good, decent specs. Granted, the fact that there's so much space being taken up by the controller obviously means less cooling and also a smaller battery, probably. You can see here those things kind of off to the side. Those are speakers. It has like pop-out speakers to save space because of the controller being on the inside. It's certainly interesting. Again, I was expecting something more the way the lady was typing it up. But it's
This
still...
seems like something you'd see in a spy movie in a briefcase. You'd open the laptop, and you like hold on, you click the sides, the speakers come out, you flip something
Yeah.
out, and then you go fwing with the two Joy-Cons. Like, is there a drone in there? What else is it?
That'd be awesome thing. I don't know, maybe someone's like showing it off at IFA.
You click the back, you get a cup holder.
Yeah, basically, like an all-in-one spy laptop. That'd be fun. Maybe someone at IFA will be showing it up. I don't know, I haven't seen it so far. Oh yeah,
Type in
IFA.
a command and a bullet shoots out the side.
IFA. I know I said it after Computex. that was the very first and last time I'm doing such a show on my own. And then I did another show like that on my own. Just carrying around my giant camera rig everywhere, especially in like 30-degree Berlin weather. The worst part is when I went there, I had a meeting with some Chinese company like selling portable treadmills. They had me just doing like full on running on treadmills, or one is like rowing machines when it's 30 degrees outside, when I was already just drowning in my own sweat, and they had me do exercise.
The game with this exercise.
I just had to vent. It's not that it's not like gamer has to do exercise. It's having to do exercise when it's 30 degrees outside.
Well, to be fair, if they're from China, it depends on... If they're more southern, they'd be very used to that kind of temperature. So exercise outside in that temperature is not abnormal.
I don't know where they're from, but thankfully they had a guy on stand that basically just, I gave him my entire camera rig and he was just filming me making a fool of myself. That was some, what else have I seen at IFA? That was fun. Yeah, I missed my bus going there on Friday, and then I also almost missed my bus going back. That was great. And then, no, the best part is I missed the very first bus because of the traffic. My Uber just didn't make it in time. So then I had to book the next bus, which was like in an hour's time. So I arrived in Berlin. I didn't arrive at the Berlin bus station, which was just outside the arena. I arrived at Alexanderplatz. So they had to find a way from Alexanderplatz to... Not Alexanderplatz, the main train station, sorry. I had to find a way from the main train station to the arena. So I went to I went to the guy like, hey, what ticket do I need? Like, what's the best route to get there? He printed it all out for me. I go there, I wait on the platform for the train, and it's just like, doesn't arrive. It's not there. It's not there. Like, is it late or something? It's the German train, so I expect them to be late. They're kind of famous for that. And then I just see it leaving behind me. It was just a very short train that was in a previous portion of the platform behind me, and I just didn't notice it because I was like towards the end of the platform. So the train was behind me the entire time.
Again, you're very smart.
I'm sorry. I thought it's just like fair game, you know. I didn't know that the train just wouldn't reach this part of the platform. So then I went upstairs to check like what next train I can get. And then I realized it's from this very same platform. So I go downstairs again, and I just missed that train. So then I tried to catch the next train, which is on the very opposite side of the train station. I missed that as well. So I was just like running up and down the entire station for I was supposed to be there at around 10 a.m. I arrived at 1 p.m. So that was fun. But at least the show itself, it's great. My first time at IFA. It's just absolutely ginormous. The arena itself is huge. It's across this giant sprawling thing. A lot of it you have to walk outside in, which again, not fun when it's like 30 degrees in Berlin. But it's just a cool new experience.
You know what you need?
What?
You need to get one of those fans, if I can find my one. You need to get yourself one of those portable fans.
I have myself a portable fan. I just left it in England. Oh, one of those. Yeah, I have one of those like manual fans. I have like an automatic one, but I have a manual one like that from Taipei. Again, I just left it at home because I didn't expect it to be so hot here. Yeah. This is also what I get because I wanted to. I cheaped out and didn't want to buy a hotel in Germany, in Berlin. So it's like, I'm just going to travel to Berlin whenever I wanted to go there. Yeah. Anyway,
Sounds like your personal problem.
The show's been going for like, what, 46 hours? It is literally. Oh, wow, it's past 10 p.m. here as well. I didn't expect it to be that late. So I think we're just going to wrap the show up here. We kind of went through all the topics. We struggled a lot. Part of it is Starlink, part of it is laptop, part of it is OBS being just so annoying to deal with. Next week, I will be back next week because I'm coming back on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm coming back on Wednesday. So next week is Avrona. It's going to be absolutely fine. Nothing is going to go wrong, right, guys?
I'm not even going to be here for that one, I don't think.
Jake, are you going to be here for the next one?
Maybe.
We'll see how that goes. I'll just be happy to finally be doing a show not in this super, not really meant for this studio. Again, I'm just doing this from like a living room desk because I don't even have like a proper living room table because I don't have a proper desk here as well. I am going to get a desk later, but there's been just like so many expenses as well, like having to space it up. I mean, Starlink in itself has been expensive. All of the other stuff. Our car broke down here, so getting the car replaced. I actually went to pick up the car today after it like gave up the ghost and then it was resurrected. What else has we had to pay? So much stuff we had to pay for. But I am pretty much going to make myself an office here. So when I am going to do more weekends of Runner here in the future, you basically won't be able to tell that I'm not at my normal place. That's the idea. Is it going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much everything for the show.
LED lights.
I am going to get LED lights. I can't have a desk set up without LED lights. I'm sorry. Anyway,
And also so you can color balance your face.
I know that is just because my camera is awful. I'm using just my my laptop webcam for this. Then that is why it's just like gushing all of the colors from the screen at me, and that's why it looks so bad. Also, in the stream, probably looks even worse because it's only in 1080p. And usually, you know, I try to at least stream in 4K. But again, my laptop. What do you mean only 10? That is like the bare minimum in the year 2024.
Fair enough.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm off because I need some sleep after today. Ugh. So thank you guys so much for joining us for this live stream, despite everything that went wrong. If you like it, then remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.